Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Codiak here and welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today, we are talking about Hytale. Didn't think I was going to be talking about Hytale today, but a brand new blog post. Yes, you heard it right. A blog post has hit the internet. It's the 2020 development kind of update. Now, I don't think a lot of us were expecting this. I think we were expecting something, but not necessarily a behind the scenes look at the business. Now, this is important. This is important information for anybody that cares about Hytale as a game and the long-term future of the game, because you need to know what's going on with the company to understand what's going on with the game, especially in the Hypixel situation. As you guys remember, the company was purchased by Riot Games back in April, and they're going to have to constantly remind us about their independence from Riot Games. And that's the first thing they address. They say that they were picked up by Riot Games back in April, and it was a major step towards providing essential resources, but they're happy to say they're also enjoying substantial independence. They're part of a bigger organization, but they continue to make their own game in their own way. Now, the acquisition of Hypixel Studios by Riot Games was a big sticking point. It was talked about across the internet, whether it be on the Hytale Info subreddit, Twitter, you name it, people were talking about it, and it really did divide the community. But the team is ensuring us that they are independent. They're enjoying having a bigger organization, bigger resource pool, but they're still making their own game in their own way. Now, of course, guys, the acquisition by Riot Games was only one piece of the puzzle. They announced earlier in the year as well that they were opening a physical location, and as you can see, Hypixel Studios is up and running. Great looking sign, and they're even working on a cool entrance piece, this Quebec wood carving here. I think Connor's going to be excited about this one. So they are definitely moving towards having a fixed location, a permanent location, but what it all boils down to is jobs. Now, if you guys haven't checked out the Hytale website recently, go on over to the jobs page. You will see that there are still a number of new and existing positions that the Hypixel team is looking to fill, including senior game designer for multiplayer, senior gameplay programmer, senior VFX artist. There's also engine jobs, production jobs, service and platform jobs. A lot of opportunities to work on this game, which means they're expanding their team. They're building that foundation of good talent. And look, I would imagine they have a great pool of talent to pull from. That is exciting stuff. Now, one thing that's really interesting to me about this blog post is they talk about the production pipeline. That's the whole process of actually making the game. And they talk about streamlining everything, putting all of their resources into making the game. And that means pulling away from their marketing and communications. And if you guys have watched any of our videos, and yes, we have put out a lot of videos about Hytale, you will probably pick up that I'm not a huge fan of the way that they've been doing their marketing and communications. Look, I can throw stones all day. It's their choice what they want to do. I like to see that they're putting all of their resources into making a good game. I think that's what really matters. But I also think that it's important to let the community know where you're at in the process, what's going on. They still have a lot of things they haven't talked about. We can run circles and talk about this endlessly, but here's the thing. What they decide to tell us is their own business. Whether or not we like it or agree with it, that's fine. But they have an obligation to make the best game they possibly can, and that's what they're doing. This is only beneficial to their team. While it may not be beneficial to us, it will in the long term. We're going to get a better game because they're putting their resources into the game, not spending that time trying to come up with blog posts and clever ideas to keep the internet horde satisfied. Am I disappointed that they're not doing more to engage with the community? They're not the best when it comes to marketing and pushing out new updates. Sure, that's fine, but the game is still a ways off, and hopefully those things will get ironed out. I'm still holding out hope that the communication, that the marketing will get better. I don't expect a Cyberpunk level push, but I do expect that team to roll out their marketing substantially when it's appropriate. When it's time to do that, I think they will. So I'm excited to see that they're focused on their team and putting out the best game possible. That in the long run is going to benefit all of us, and I don't think we can ask for anything more than that. Now, one of the big heavy hitters of this blog post is a little bit of a letdown. The team has informed us that there are no big reveals coming in 2020, and I'm quoting here, "We do regret that we're not able to cap off 2020 with the set of reveals we gestured at earlier in the summer. That was a prediction that didn't work out. The features we had in mind simply aren't ready to make their debut, but what we can do is talk about what they will entail. They have taken some ideas all the way back to the drawing boards and reconceptualized them. That's something I think a lot of us expected because we're way beyond a pre-alpha at this point. We're still in development, as obviously we all know, but things like combat, Things that we've seen before have gone under transformations, and they've gone through substantial changes. And while the team says they're not ready to reveal quite yet, they are happy with the direction that they're going. This is good news. This means that they're taking their ideas. They're not just finishing things and walking away from them. They're really looking at every aspect of the game, making sure that they're perfect, redeveloping them while they have the resources, while they have the time, because once the game comes out, those things are going to be much harder. You guys know what it's like when you take a major system like combat and totally revamp it while the game is already out. It's a disaster. So that the fact that they're going back and reworking some things is a good sign too. Now, it is disappointing that we don't get to see any of these new changes in action. We don't get to see them as a community, but things are still moving forward, and that's what really matters here. But a good thing, and they end the blog post with this, they are not holding anything back. There's no hidden messages. There's no YouTubers out there with secret access to the game. What you see and what we see as a community is what we're getting. And that's really important. I think there's been a lot of hype and there's been a lot of criticism of other games that have done this, given special access to certain people or companies. And what we see is what we're getting with Hytale. And I think that's really important. Now, I want to read the last paragraph here because I think it's a good summation of everything that's going on, all of the expectations, and it can provide us with a baseline moving forward. Now, I'm quoting here. "We don't currently have a launch plan for Hytale. When we do, and we're confident in it, we'll tell you, and we'll be as specific as we possibly can be. We know that there's a tendency to make predictions about possible release dates based on all sorts of signs and symbols, from job postings to our accounts getting verified on Twitter. For the avoidance of doubt, there aren't any hidden messages. Nobody outside of the company has access to the game. We're not going to drop the game as a surprise without giving you notice. This is what we are going to do. We're going to make a game, and then we're going to tell you how you can get a hold of it, and then you can play it if you like." So at the end of the day, guys, what we see is what we get with Hytale, and that's all we can ask for. As you guys have been noticing, we're showing you some new images, some of the Orbis postcards that have been released over the last few months. The team made it clear that not much is going to happen over the Christmas break, but 2021 is going to be an exciting year, and if you don't believe that, all you have to do is look back, watch that trailer with 50+ million views, and you will know that Hytale is a very special game that means a lot to a lot of people. Hopefully in 2021, we will learn a bit more and finally get our chance to play this amazing game. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want more Hytale content in your feed, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, my name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thank you so much for watching, and play on.